Our main focus. So as we're recording this, and when this episode drops, it is going to be the weekend where American football, the NFL, will be starting the first week of the season. What 16? Yeah, 16 seasons or 18. I don't know. I don't watch a lot of football, but I watch a lot of football movies. So that's where we get into this. So we're gonna kind of quickly go through some of the football movie greats, as well as talk about our personal favorites. So there are quite a few. Like there's at least there's some of the older ones. I mean, off the top of my head, I can think of at least like 16 or something. But really some of my favorites. A lot of movies over the years have surprisingly featured a lot of football. Even though growing up as a kid, I never really got into football. I can watch it now, like here and there, but I was never really into it unless it was in a movie. And it was just that was my real introduction to the sport. It's just a lot of quick cuts, a lot of people yelling a lot of random words, and then someone would hike a ball and stuff would happen. I'm like, okay, whatever, sure. But I will say the first movie I think I remember watching that had football in it had to be Little Giants.
That's an old one.
That is an old one. I mean, it's crazy saying that's an old one. It's a movie from the 90s. I think that was before Zach was born.
Probably.
Yeah.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Have you seen it?
Never heard of it.
Nice.
Never heard of it.
Maybe
Well,
Disney Plus.
Nice.
Believe it or not, has a lot of football movies that I would recommend you watching. There's some newer ones. There's some of the all-time greats. There's two of them there that I would consider like really good. One of them is an all-time great of mine. Anthony will elaborate further, but another one came out like in the mid 2000s or so. And then obviously you have Little Giants. Little Giants is awesome. Little Giants. The basic premise is there are two brothers. I think one of them owns a car dealership played by Ed O'Neill, and the other one is the main character who's played by Rick Moranis. So that's of Ghostbusters fame. That is
Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
Spaceballs.
Spaceballs, correct.
Nice.
Good job.
I've seen bits and pieces.
Of?
I know what I'm talking about.
Spaceballs.
Kind of.
Spaceballs? So you haven't seen all of
Kind of,
Spaceballs?
no.
Oh my
Yeah.
No, I
Damn it.
haven't.
Oh man. So basically, yeah, it's basically a movie about Pee Wee football, and they're the O'Shea brothers. So his name is Danny O'Shea, and then it's Kevin. And Kevin, like they're always like Kevin was always like the brother who did it all and whatever. And then Rick Moranis plays Danny, kind of like the sort of like oddball, kind of did his own thing. And it was really it's very entertaining. Like you basically had his daughter, like she really liked football, but they wouldn't allow her name was Becky. They wouldn't allow Becky to play on her uncle's team, which is like the high prestige Pee Wee football team, because she was a girl. So then Danny O'Shea wants to make a football team with a whole bunch of the sort of like the kind of like misfits, outcasts. Like, hey, you're never picked on the team. They're the last one picked. Well, let's make a football team for you guys. And then they end up being pretty decent, like, because just because different skill sets, people show off their different, play to their strengths. It's really fun. But at the same time, like there's that whole still brother versus brother antagonistic kind of relationship that culminates in the big game at the end. And it's really awesome. Like Anthony, what were some, I know you've seen it too. There are some key moments I know you remember in terms of like play calls or like.
I haven't seen it in a while, but I do remember.
Do you remember that the Alka-Seltzer patches?
I remember that. I remember them like
Hilarious.
throwing the toilet paper while they're like in the grocery store
Yes.
practicing throwing the
So
football.
there's this kid who's really good as a receiver, but he can't catch the football, but he can catch toilet paper rolls. So like there's a part where like he tried to put on like sticky tar on his hands, and then they're like, okay, and then like they do their like huddle, okay, and break, and then his hands are stuck together, and he's just like, I can't, and then he gets stuck on his jersey, and he's just running trying to take it off, and then the quarterback, I think that was Devin Sawa was the quarterback, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, he throws the ball at him, and he's trying to catch it, but he can't reach for it, and then it just smacks him in the head. And he gets hella tackled by like the opposing team, and so he's just there like, like he can't bring it back up. And I think I remember it was they're Little Giants because Danny O'Shea's team were the Giants, and then his brother, played by Ed O'Neill, the mean brother, he was the Cowboys. So anyway, like they play the Cowboys, and like he's just like trying to like do. It's a really funny image. But yeah, it's toilet paper scene like rolls. They have like this one nerdy kid who tried playing on there, but he ends up being like their like offensive coordinator. Like he's really scrawny, really nerdy kid, but they end up coming up with this play that's like this crazy trick play, and they call it the annexation of Puerto Rico. It's awesome. Like the whole movie is just like it's really endearing. So the one of the other main characters, so Danny O'Shea's daughter Becky, she's like the linebacker. They call her the icebox because she's so tough and she just like plows through everybody. But she keeps getting, the different like, oh, you should just, go on the cheer team, be a girl, whatever. And then so she tries, like it culminates into like the whole bit of where she just don't want to spoil the movie for Zach or Danny, but yeah, like she has a really cool character arc. Devon Sawa's character has a really cool character arc. There's a part where they try to bring in like this really tough, like, what was the name of that kid? Like the really tough kid that had like the Johnny Unitas cut, and the dad had the same cut too.
I have no idea. I don't remember that.
Like
I don't remember that much.
But he damn, I can't remember it. I do not. His name was Spike. That's right. Yeah. So his name was. I'm cheating with IMDb, but yeah, his name was Spike, and like they try to bring him into the Little Giants first because like, oh, I'm gonna meet O'Shea, and they're like, oh, he'll be me, not my brother. But then like the actual then the mean brother comes in, he's like, nah, he's mine. He's kind of like just poaches him back. Yeah, it's fun. The movie's not really long, but I recommend it if you have time on Disney Plus. Give it a watch.
It's probably in that category, the feel good sport movies.
I think so, or like kid family classics, like the same thing like with The Sandlot.
Disney has a bunch of those.
Yeah, I had to I just go into the search bar because I know it's there. I'm just like Little Giants, as well as a couple others. But yeah, if you want to start off, with the first movie I ever saw that had football in it, Little Giants. That's where you want to do. Nice. Zach, I know you got one. It's a fun one that is actually they've done it twice. It's so nice they've done it twice, right?
That is right, Xavier. Okay, so I've only seen maybe less than a handful of American football related movies, but the one that always stood out to me was The Longest Yard with Adam Sandler.
You could have said Burt Reynolds, and I would have still been like, hey, can you be more specific? Which is really cool.
So let's rewind with Burt Reynolds.
There you go. Yeah. Which one?
Turd Ferguson?
I got a hat.
The second one with Adam Sandler. And that one just has a lot of great memorable scenes, lines. I think Chris Rock was hilarious.
Chris Rock is great. Yeah.
His I think it was one of the scenes that I remember was when they're trying to recruit the big dude, Switowski, I think is his name.
Was it Switowski? Was it the big like kind of like man baby dude?
Yeah,
the one who like where I forgot where he gets into a fight with somebody, and then like my favorite part, one of my favorite scenes in the entire movie. I don't mean to hijack it, but do you remember when like he fights the really really big guy? And he just goes, he broke in my nose.
Yeah, they were doing I guess like a play, and what's his name? The Great Khali.
The Great Khali was in this movie. Yeah, they had a few other wrestlers in that movie.
Yeah,
too.
what's his name?
Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Steve Austin. There we go.
You also had, I think Kevin Nash was in there. Yeah, I think
I'm not
Kevin
sure
Nash
who that one.
Two wrestlers.
Yeah, I think they had two wrestlers. Yeah,
Nice.
if you look at it, they had two wrestlers in that.
Yeah, they had a couple of them in there. But so his character, the Great Ali, he
And Goldberg.
the Great Khali,
Right.
sorry,
Dang, 3?
kicks Switowski like in the face. He gets oh, he broke in my nose.
He's like, you can't come and fight him outside. He's like, yeah, but he broke in my nose. That's snap. That's Bob. That was Bob Sapp. He was a famous MMA fighter, and like a weird he actually was like a kind of a celebrity in I saw him one time in some random Japanese like game show or something, and they're like Bob Sapp. I was like, what is Bob Sapp doing here? But yeah, it's yeah, he's great. Switowski is awesome.
Yeah, I think he was one of the more memorable characters for him being like this big dude, but also like he's a child. Uh, I wouldn't say at heart, but he's a child.
Yeah, he's got like he's got a sort of
Mentally.
a you know yeah, infantile personality to a certain extent.
Yeah,
Nice way of saying it.
like some of his like, oh, I can't read, Mister.
Yeah, basically that. No, it's freaking hilarious. But yeah, man, yeah, it had Stone Cold Steve Austin in it, Kevin Nash, Goldberg was like on the prisoners team. Um, but yeah, like some any other stuff that you remember?
Well, in that, well, okay, I was gonna mention something from that same scene, but I've gone on far long enough with that scene. Other things that I do remember are someone that I just found out was related to another actor. What was his first name again? I
About
forgot his
Adam
first name.
Sandler?
Nick?
No. Yeah, Nicholas
Yeah.
Turturro.
Yep.
John Turturro?
Yes.
Yeah, John Turturro's
Okay.
brother, apparently, that I just found out about.
Okay.
Yeah, man. That's Nick Turturro. That I remember
Interesting.
him because he was like it ended up being like scandalous that he was seeing oh my god. What's this dude's name? I was gonna say Brian Fellows. But like, no,
it was
Tracy Morgan.
Tracy Morgan's
Yeah.
character. Yeah. Well, because I was gonna
Oh,
say
Brian Fellows.
I was gonna start off by saying that that his character is like this guy with a really short fuse that gets really
Set off over nothing, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
like they're doing the drills and he's going through the tires and he trips and he starts like punching and kicking the tires, and then Adam Sandler's character is like oh, we'll give him is it like a 6? And he looks like he gets all mad like what? It's like and a half
And
or
a half-
0.5.
0.5. Yeah.
He's like that's more like it.
Yep. Yeah. Like Adam Sandler plays like like the straight man. Like he goes to jail for basically shaving points off in games. 'Cause
Yeah.
It's basically like manipulation and all this other stuff. And he ends up meeting Burt Reynolds, who is in the Slammer too, which is a great like kind of bit of casting because Burt Reynolds was his character in the original.
Oh, so he played the same character.
Yeah, he played Paul Crew in the original.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant that.
No, he didn't play
when
the
he was in
coach.
this
No, he
movie.
didn't play their coach.
Okay.
No, he played like what Adam Sandler's character was. in
Yeah.
the movie.
Okay. No, because I thought you said that, or I thought you meant that the character that he played in the movie that he starred in, he was the same character, just older and still in prison.
No,
or
he
something.
was he was
the same
the same character as Adam Sandler.
as okay.
Correct.
Yeah. That was kind of a funny thing too. That when I saw the movie many years ago for like the first time,
Mm-hmm.
my dad, who's also like a big football fan, he's like, he used to play at FSU when he was in college and stuff, and FSU is one of my favorite college teams.
I didn't know that. I didn't know he played. I knew he played, but I didn't know he played college at FSU. I didn't he play at FSU.
Yeah, I think he
That's
played
cool,
at FSU.
Hey, I learned something new today.
And my dad's a big FSU fan. I'm an FSU fan. Canes suck. Sorry, my fans.
Ooh, we just alienated everyone in Miami.
No offense, but Canes suck. But at least we can
Move to
agree.
Tallahassee.
At least we can agree that the Gators also suck.
Ooh, I know some people that'll be.
Zach's
Who's
ready
we?
to fight
Damn.
today.
Zach came in
Dude.
and chose violence.
Wow.
Yeah, I just had to say it because FSU has a great football team. Anyway,
I mean,
Since
not
when?
now, but since
well, yeah,
like
not
15
not
years
like
ago.
the
10
last
years
5
ago?
years.
Yeah,
but
like 10 years ago.
at least 6 years ago they were
Okay.
they were really good.
It's like, well, at least.
At least
Oh,
at one
man.
point in time in history.
05?
Exactly. Oh, 5?
And then,
Freaking great.
but then back to Nicholas Turturro. So they kind of drop hints that he's into men,
Yeah.
and they
Doesn't-
keep making jokes about it. Like Adam Sandler's character, Chris Rock's character, they all keep like taking jabs at him about his sexual preferences. And then we get this hilarious scene where they get I guess security footage, and they show him knocking on another cell or
Yeah,
wherever he
I'm
was.
trying to get in somewhere. Yeah, it's like one of the low key like gonna tap. Yep,
And then you see Tracy Morgan's character just come out of the room.
It's like Miss Something. I forgot the name of that, but like did y'all walk around? Like, yeah, it's basically just a woman, a dude in drag, like as in prison drag, basically.
Yeah,
which is hilarious. But
and then they're them as cheerleaders, and
yeah,
at
and
certain
and
points
that's
of
the great. Yeah, they're the cheerleaders, which made it even funnier.
What was that cheer from early in the movie?
God, I don't remember, but I know there was like a really goofy cheer. Yeah, you're just like, oh my god.
Oh, it was they spell out the slang term for a male's parts.
Oh yeah,
That's what it was.
That's right. Yeah, they give me a C.
D.
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 Give me
D
a
and
I. I. Give me whoa. Yeah, like that.
How do you spell it?
That was yeah. That's a good
You have
one.
to watch the movie to find out.
Oh man.
And then I forgot what they do. Then like in the final game, like the whole thing, like they spiked because they play against the guards, so
Yeah.
they spiked some of the guards like food, or I don't know if it was food or drink, but with estrogen.
Yeah, they were pouring estrogen into their
Gatorade.
Gatorade
Yep.
tank or whatever you want to call it. And I think it was just if it affected the one guard because he had a lot of the Gatorade to drink, and he was acting very feminine, and
Yeah. He's like, it's my feelings. Yeah. I think that was Kevin Nash.
I'm just so emotional.
So emotional right now. Yeah, that was Kevin Nash, who is also in what's the name of this? Magic Mike. Yeah, he's also in Magic Mike. Yeah, that's weirdly enough, he kind of got like refamous because he used to be Diesel and all these other people from like WWF, WWE, and WCW. And then he was in like smaller parts in movies like The Longest Yard, and then they got big again because he was the older, like the stripper dude in Magic Mike.
The first one or in Double XL?
I believe he's in both. If I'm not mistaken, he's in both. I know my dude Joe Mangolini. No, I'm kidding. Joe Manganiello's in it. The point I was trying to make is that yeah, man, that movie's good. Like it's Longest Yard is a good pick. Yeah, because
Yeah.
again, like our big main thing with football movies, we'll always have enough of the game built into it so that people who like football can be entertained by it, but then they also get what should be generally a engaging, fun, and sometimes emotional and inspiring human story too.
Well, yeah, because I was going to mention too that I think one of the more serious parts of the movie is when I guess there was a coup to kill Paul Crew.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they were
But-
trying to like set up just weird, prison murder. Yeah, they're trying to
Yeah.
set that up.
But then it ended up being that Caretaker was the one that Chris
Yeah.
Rock's character goes into the cell and all that stuff
Yeah.
goes down, and
Yeah, big sad, man. That's sadness.
yeah,
And
That was-
then they're like, then that fires up the team even more. They kind of coalesce together, and then they go. They play.
yeah, because they started off rough, still not being some of the best players, of course, and then
Yep.
that kind of
That really
motivates
galvanizes them
them.
together.
Yeah,
Dude, but you're missing the best character in this movie.
you mean Cheeseburger Eddie?
I mean, Cheeseburger Eddie, played by Terry Crews. It's up there and probably my favorite role that Terry Crews has ever done. His best role is in Brooklyn Nine-Nine, but
Oh, I thought you were talking about Adam Sandler.
no, we're talking about
Well,
Terry
I
Crews.
thought you were gonna say
Just in
White
general.
Chicks.
Yeah, White
yeah.
Yeah, that's his third best. Second best is
Cheeseburger Eddie.
yeah, Cheeseburger Eddie, and then number one is now I lied. It's a tie between all the Old Spice commercials and Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Not his character in Balls of Fury.
not his character in Balls of Fury. Yeah, dude, just you're acting like a real McAsshole. Oh man, you
But
got to protect your
why
McNuggets.
why else is that character such a great character?
Why
you like
Cheeseburger
to-
Eddie? Why? Because
Would you like to-
man, because he's got the shakes that'll make you crank. He's got the fries that'll cross your eyes, and he's got the burgers. Nah, he's just got burgers. He's got the burgers. Oh man, yeah, that whole sequence where they're just beating up on Adam Sandler. Like he ends up earning their respect, and they end up playing football for him. Like, but it's still like Cheeseburger Eddie, like out of nowhere, keeps whipping out like cheeseburgers and hamburgers.
there was a scene where
Of all the things he could smuggle.
Yeah. there's a scene
Smuggle
where
cheeseburger.
they're practicing and he just pulls out one from his pants and just places on the guy's.
And the helmet.
And
Yeah,
he
that's
just,
Nick
like, taps
Totoro's
his-
character.
Yeah.
And he's just like, here you go. That'll make you feel better. A quarter pounder will make you feel better. He's like, it's got cheese on it. Yeah, he's all laid out. It's great. God, that movie's great. Where, Danny? Can you see where it's streaming?
It is on Paramount Plus.
Oh, perfect. I have it, so I'm gonna
I
watch
do
it.
not.
There you go. Now it's worth
I'm
a
gonna rewatch it probably tonight when I get home.
do it, man. Yeah, it's worth a rewatch. I know I rewatched a movie just today that football movie in it, but I'll let Anthony take over this one because it is one of our favorite movies of all time and probably arguably the best football movie ever made.
I mean, to me it is. I like it a lot.
I believe
but
so too.
Buying games, I'm gonna switch it up because Danny said this is the one that he remembers the most. So I'm gonna
Oh,
I'm
we
gonna
did
let
a
him-
switcheroo on
I'm
the
gonna let
host,
him-
ladies and
I'm gonna
gentlemen,
let him
and the
talk
viewers.
about it, and then I'll piggyback on whatever.
Okay,
whatever he talks
yeah.
about.
So, quick swerve over to Danny. I know you have a pick that is really like deep down in our hearts, our pick, and so I want you to kind of take the stand here and talk about this movie. It's amazing. Please do. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
so the movie's Air Bud Golden Receiver.
Shut up! Get the hell out of this
Nice.
studio.
That's what I was talking about. That's by far the best football movie.
Golden Receiver.
Clearly the best.
Found on
Um,
Disney Plus. Everybody.
Is it?
No, it's not.
No,
Oh,
I just checked.
thank God.
I thought they all
Isn't it?
were
Isn't it a Disney?
It is
movie?
a Disney movie, but they don't have like any of the Air Buds.
not
because
good
they're
enough.
garbage.
Wow, Disney.
It shouldn't have been called Air Bud after the first one.
Exactly. It's Anyway, yeah. Continue.
But for me, I'm in like Zach. I haven't seen too many football movies, unfortunately.
But you've seen one.
I've seen one, which is Remember the Titans.
Yes,
The best
sir.
one. Yes, sir, man. That's
Uh,
why I told Anthony right now, if anybody watching or watches the VOD, Anthony is on my left side.
Strong side.
Left side.
Strong side.
Left side.
Strong side.
Dude, that scene, I don't know why, but that scene gives me chills every time because it's like the beginning of all of them coming together. It's basically between Julius and Bertier, and that just cements the beginnings of like their amazing friendship. That's become sort of our inside joke whenever we have to go anywhere and something's on the left side.
Well, I remember you guys did it a couple podcasts
Yeah,
ago.
we don't do it. We don't do on your left like in Marvel. No.
Mm.
Yeah, as
Left
iconic
side.
as iconic as Sam Wilson Captain America and Steve Rogers Captain America. On Cap on your left. Anytime we tell, hey, it's not left, it's like left side, and then immediately it's
Strong side.
strong side. It's the strong side. Very nice. But yeah, Danny, I'm glad you have that pick because if you can only watch one movie that involves football, it is Remember the Titans.
And what do you remember about?
What do you remember about Remember the Titans?
So I saw this movie I was probably like 7 or 8.
Formative years.
7.
Yeah.
So
And I haven't
5
seen it
years
since.
ago?
That movie came out in 2000. I just want you to know.
Oh,
Yeah, I was 5
Whew.
in 2000.
did it really? Wow.
Sorry, guys, my back.
But it is on Disney Plus, so I might go watch it tonight.
Do it because I
Dude,
watched
it's
it
so good.
today.
It's so good.
Ooh, nice.
I watched it today. The movie is so good.
I've watched it like 50 times throughout my 4 years of high school.
It's because anytime we had AP exams or short days, and it's like, oh, we've finished all the curriculum. You put on Remember the Titans.
Or if we had a substitute that didn't want to do anything.
Watch
Just put
Remember
on
the
a movie.
Titans.
I might have seen it in school too. I
Good.
feel like
You had a good
some
school
teacher
then.
played it.
You had a
It's a
good
good
teacher.
movie to show.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, it's inspirational. It's historic. It's set in 1971 in Alexandria, Virginia. Just when the school district starts to integrate, there's still racial tensions in the South, and due to a lot of kind of back end stuff going on, the established coach played by Will Patton, who I remember from Gone in 60 Seconds, he ends up being an assistant coach to Denzel Washington's character, Coach Herman Boone. And Coach Boone comes in, hell hath no fury. I'm going to whip this team up into shape. Whoever is good is going to play. I'm not going to, we're not just going to prefer, one race over another. It's going to be egalitarian, but he's, a cruel taskmaster. And, he has their training camp crosses over into, was it Pennsylvania? Yeah, because they do stuff. They end up nearing Gettysburg, and so they kind of help cement the whole idea of home. Of like, you may be from one background, you're from another background, but together we're a team. And in order for us to win, it's a team. And plot twist is due to some other stuff that goes on. Coach Boone is put in a position where if he loses a game, he loses his job. So the tension is always there. You have some really fun bits of comedy. The supporting cast is awesome. You have Donald Faison. Bringing it back to La La Land, you have Ryan
I
Gosling.
just saw that. I was like,
Yep,
What?
dude, he's like
a
so
baby.
he's a baby, but he's so weirdo because he's a character. Like they have to do like some bonding stuff in their dorm rooms, and he's like trying to get this guy called, I think his name is Big Blue, but like they're trying to get him to listen to country where he likes more of the Temptations, and he's like, oh, you gotta love this one, and he's just like jamming and like line dance, and he's just like, does the term cruel and unusual punishment mean anything to you? It's man, that movie and that movie has a lot of iconic lines. I know Anthony probably can bring up a couple of those too.
Trying to remember.
Yeah, it's
mean,
fresh
I-
for me because I just watched it. But yeah,
Because I mean, I know like a lot of the montage sequences when they're practicing.
Yeah. Do you remember the montage when they were, oh man, or it started
You
when,
want a victory?
yeah, or do you remember when PD first meets Coach Boone? Do you remember that scene?
The one where he's like raising his hand. He's like, "Why are you raising your hand?"
Yeah, like Coach Boone, like Denzel Washington. He's just like, "Why are you raising your hand?" He's like, I'm just excited to play football, sir. He's like, "Yes," and he just keeps correcting him. He's like, "Oh, why do you want to play football?" Well, I think, "Oh, you think now?" Like, and he's just like,
Just roasting him.
just boom, like just sending an example.
Coach Boone.
Coach Boone, yes, Coach Boone, yeah. And then I since he's the team captain, Gary Bertier is like trying to like give him the suggestions, whatever. He's like, oh, we got comedians over in here. This guy's over, whatever, does the funny stuff, and this one gets the girl, and he just like puts him
He's
straight
like,
up.
"You must
in
be Jerry Lewis."
Yeah, you must be Jerry Lewis, not Bertier. Jerry Lewis, not Jerry Bertier. It's freaking great. Like, and then they get to, oh man, yeah, that's a good bit. So yeah, that whole bit where he's just completely like, kind of like putting Bertier back in his place, and he's like, "Oh, that's your mom," whatever. But who's your daddy? And he's like, "Say, I'm your daddy." He's like, "You are, sir." Like, and he's just like, "Whoo!" And then that puts animosity with his friend Ray, who's just really set in his ways and doesn't want to play ball with the black students. But it's great to see like the team comes to, for the most part though, the team comes together, but then they go back to school and it's still all this tension. Like the whole town is really just a boiler pot, and the way the town comes together is through the football. I can't stress enough how amazing this movie is. There's a speech that Will Patton's character has that I don't know if Danny, you probably barely remember this one, where he's just like, he makes a couple defensive plays or defensive changes, and he's like, and you will not give them a single yard. You will make them remember the day they played the Titans. And it's just like they got all fired up, and that team just got halted in their tracks. But like, you will make, and like the way he delivers you will make them remember the night that they played the Titans. And you're like, damn, like that's like, because like normally that character, he's trying to just play, be on both sides to try to be, you never see like a lot of like passion from him, as not because he's kind of bumped down, assistant coach. A lot of passion comes from his daughter that's played by Hayden Panettiere. I know Zach likes Heroes, so
Yeah, that's a pretty good show.
yeah. So Hayden Panettiere from Heroes
Yeah.
she's a lot younger, but she's
The cheerleader.
she's the
Not in this movie.
no, she's a cheerleader in Heroes.
Yeah.
She's
Oh, yeah, I'm very familiar with Hayden Panettiere.
yeah, she's the daughter of
That sounded,
that mean?
yeah, it sounded.
done a lot.
whoa there.
Did you watch Scream 4?
You didn't watch Scream 4?
No, but
Not
I've seen
familiar
her.
enough.
I've seen her in a couple of other stuff.
What about that video
Garbage.
game? It was like a movie video
That,
game.
Dying
game is
Light or
awesome.
Until Dawn?
Until Dawn.
Until
Until Dawn.
yeah.
Rami Malek, Academy Award
Yeah.
winner Rami Malek is in that.
That's a cool game.
Yeah, that's a fun little game. Yeah, man, I cannot stress enough that it's a really good movie. It's technically, like one of the historical dramas. It's inspirational. It also has this dude who ended up losing a lot of weight.
Ethan Suplee.
Ethan Suplee.
He was in Boy Meets World back in the day.
Yes, he was. Do you remember the Yo Mama jokes that they were doing?
Yeah, and he's like, "Oh, my back's hurting."
Wow, man, what happened? They're like, yo, what happened? And he's just like, what did he say?
I think he's like, "Oh, are you okay?" He's like, hunching over, holding his back. He's like, "Yeah, I just was holding your mom this whole time."
Just giving her a
Like,
piggyback
yeah.
ride. Like, yeah, PD, I just gave your mom a piggyback ride. And then because at first they're trying to roast Bertier, he's like, oh man, he's trying to take, before I take out Bertier's mama, and Bertier like doesn't get in on the joke. He's like, what? And then Julius has to hold him back. He's like, no, keep it going. And he's like, oh no, man, you can't do that because your mama's got to shave up her legs before we take her anywhere. And they're like, oh, and then it finally comes in to Ethan Suppley's character, and he's just like hunched over, and he does that line to Petey. And Petey's played by Donald Faison of Scrubs fame, and like they just roast him dirty with that one. And then Bertier's like, now that's a mama joke, like, and it's really fun, man.
The movie has a lot of people when they were young.
They really do.
What was his name? Jules? Julius.
Julius,
right?
yeah,
Yeah, dude, that's Avon Barksdale from The Wire.
yeah,
Like one of the main
one of the main
drug
characters
dealers
from The Wire.
The Wire. Excellent show.
Yes. It's up there with the greats like Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul. Damn, dude. Yeah, remember the Titans. Any other things that you recall, maybe, Danny, from it, other than just it had Denzel in it and is awesome?
The music was great too. The music choices.
Yes, a lot of period accurate songs, like a lot of Creedence.
CCR.
Ooh,
Yep.
interesting.
Yeah, they had a lot of good soul music, kind of Motown and soul in there too. Yeah, it's worth it, dude. Like if you get a chance,
I'll definitely try to maybe on my flight.
Yeah,
this
man's
weekend,
going on
so.
vacation. Yeah, download it. Definitely download it and watch it. You're gonna be touched in the heart if you just like if you don't think that movie's good, then there's something actually wrong with you.
Good to know.
This is
I'll watch
true.
Airbud
Yeah.
again.
Golden Receiver.
Yeah, good luck finding it streaming anywhere.
Yeah.
What a clever
Garbage.
name.
All right,
That's
Anthony,
such an awesome name.
what do you got?
So I'm like, because I passed that one to him, I'm going between two comedies, but we could quickly
Comedy?
talk about both instead of just talking about one.
Yeah, do both real quick.
Yeah, well, the first one is because I think it was like the first funny football movie that I've seen, and that's Waterboy.
Oh,
So
yeah.
another Adam Sandler movie, but
Dude,
Waterboy is awesome. That was to me back when his movies were still firing in all cylinders.
do you remember the scene where he's
Yes.
he's with where Lawrence Taylor's there and he's talking about like, hey, here's a famous quarterback for the Bulldogs, Bobby Boucher. Bobby, tell us what's going on through your mind to the pay. And he just like says everything that's in his head like verbatim. He's like, I look at the man and I took the ball and I attacked the ball and I tried to finish the ball and then that's the end of the play. And he's like, and the whole like stream of consciousness, everybody's weirded out. And then LT goes back to the kids like, all right, kids, now for your next lesson. Don't smoke crack. I don't know what that and Colonel Sanders, the professor.
The professor. Medulla oblongata.
Oh my God, there's something wrong with his medulla oblongata. It just tackles his man.
Yeah, dude. There's too
Henry
many funny
Winkler?
moments in that movie. Henry Winkler is the coach. Kathy Bates is his mom. Says everything's the devil.
Everything's the devil. The devil. Dan, you have not seen The Waterboy?
I've seen
You watch
and
the
pieces,
you need to
but I
watch the
haven't
whole
seen it.
movie.
Oh, man,
I think it's on Netflix, right?
I
think-
sure. I don't
it's
know. but
on Peacock and Tubi.
Okay, so
Tubi.
get it. Yeah, watch it on Peacock. Actually, if you can bum a Peacock subscription or do a trial, watch it just for that because
Do
you
you have
understand.
I mean, Peacock
Do you have
is free.
Xfinity? It's
if
free
you have
if you have
Xfinity
Xfinity.
somewhere, you
Yeah.
have. Dude, you just when she's like, oh, and Woboito, he married a voodoo woman named Phyllis. Like, there's so many like iconic stuff. Fruits of Bulk. She was in The Craft. She's Bobby Boucher's love interest. Rob Schneider's the "You Can Do It" guy. And also the other dude, I forget
What
his
was her
name.
What was his girlfriend's name in that movie?
Vicky
Vicky Valancourt.
Valancourt.
Yeah, that he had a string of movies where the women characters had like the same first letter and of their first and last name.
What was
That was
the
very
name
weird.
of the girl from? Never mind. I'm gonna
Happy
go on a
Gilmore?
tangent. Happy Gilmore. Yeah,
Uh,
something with not something with V. But yeah, that movie's great. Great pick. You just so many goofy things. He
Yeah.
drives around in a lawnmower. Like it's wonderful. And he has a crystallized water blessed by an Eskimo shaman.
one of the funniest characters, Farmer Fran, also from Boy Meets World. He played Sean's dad in Boy Meets
Oh
World.
my God,
Dude,
yes.
he's hilarious in that movie.
Is that the guy who just mumbles all the time?
he just like jibber jabbers. He has his own language, and then some people understand him, and then everyone's like, "What? Like what? He
Dude,
say?"
my sister can understand. The weird thing is, my sister understood him. We were watching
There's
the
no
movie.
way.
Dude, she
There's
goes,
no way.
"Oh, he lived to fight another day." Before he even said it, I was just like, "What? Like, she understood? Like, oh, going to this point is like, like it's just great. Yeah, just that's a good pick. Good job.
Water sucks.
It really, really sucks. Hey, Bobby, water sucks. Gatorade is better.
Yeah, I think earlier when you were talking about your movie, you mentioned Gatorade, and I was like holding myself. I'm going, Gatorade.
H2O.
So yeah, if you guys haven't seen that movie, that's a
That's a classic.
classic football
Classic standard.
comedy. It's
There are
super
a lot of,
silly,
like-
very stupid, but it's
It's
hilarious.
silly, but man, you can't. It's really good, man. You gotta watch it. It's
There
so
are a
good.
lot of Adam Sandler movies, like some of the older ones that I haven't seen, that are pretty iconic. Was it Billy Madison?
Billy Madison. Yes.
That one I haven't seen. That one I haven't seen.
Have you seen Happy Gilmore?
No, yeah, that one I've seen.
Yeah,
for
he's-
sure.
okay.
Whew.
We
Like-
talked about
like-
Happy Gilmore.
Billy
Recently.
Madison.
Yeah, but you know, sometimes he forgets.
Mr. D's, I think, is one that I haven't seen. But
Okay.
the Waterboy is one of those that I.
There's
haven't
Waterboy
really
and then
seen.
Wedding Singer.
Wedding Singer's great.
Big
That one I
Daddy.
haven't seen.
Daddy.
Big Daddy, I've seen. That was,
Okay.
I think,
Big
one of my
Daddy,
favorite
yeah.
ones from.
Those are
50
like
First Dates.
It's
More.
another one I've seen. I've seen a majority of them, but there are a few sprinkled in there that I haven't seen yet.
And then now, in
That's one
terms
I
of
should watch.
another sports movie, you got Hustle. With Adam
Hustle.
Sandler.
Hustle.
who?
Yes, that's
The-
basketball.
Oh, the basketball.
yeah, but yes,
Adam
so he's
Sandler.
done two.
For a
sporting
second, I
movies.
thought you were talking about the
Hustle and
Oh,
Flow.
the J-Lo- Adam-
the J Lo movie.
No, I thought you were talking Hustle. I think he's like Hustle and Flow. Is he?
No.
Is it hard out here for a pimp?
For a pimp,
Yep. All
it
right.
definitely is. But yeah, the
The
other
other
one,
one?
the other one was The Replacements, because that's also a hilarious movie,
That's a
which I
great one.
saw in high school during I think
A few
like one
times
of
over.
during the summer, one of the
Oh,
classes
we
I
didn't
took
talk
in the
about
summer.
Sunshine. That's a cool guy.
Sunshine. Oh yeah,
Remember the
Sunshine
Titans?
from Remember the
Sunshine.
Titans.
Dude, like he could fight too.
Dude, that
like
guy
he,
is
that and then
good
I love,
quarterback.
dude, the scene where he's just like, oh, like let him pass, so like to try to tackle him,
Yeah,
and then
he's
he just
like-
destroys that dude. Like he just dodges, and that guy died. Like they carried him off the field, and he gives him a look. He's like, yeah, don't mess with
And
my
he was
friend.
helping tackle too.
Yeah, they put him on defense in the last game. Anyway, that
Yeah, man.
character's awesome. Great quarterback. Go back to
The
the
Replacements.
replacements.
Have you
Talking
guys
about
seen The
another great
Replacements?
quarterback.
I feel like I've seen it, but I don't remember.
Gene Hackman's a
Shane-
coach.
Shane Falco,
Shane
Yeah.
Falco.
aka Keanu Reeves, in
Keanu
a
Reeves.
football movie.
Yeah.
Keanu Reeves, which is funny because he played somebody who used to play football in another movie. Freaking Johnny Utah. I said Johnny Unitas, which is an actual real
America.
football player.
And that circles back to Whiplash, where they he calls the guy Johnny Utah.
Johnny Utah. Yep. Oh man.
But yeah, there's a lot of also random assortment of good actors in The Replacements.
yeah.
Gene Hackman is a great actor, and he's the coach. Reese Ifans is in it. He's in House of the Dragon right
he's
now.
the kicker. Yeah, he's also the lizard in the Amazing Spider-Man
Mhm.
and No Way Home. But yeah, he's the every time like the team gets popular, so they start doing the ole 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 chant every time he goes to kick.
And this guy, every time he goes to kick, he's like smoking a cigarette.
He's just like whatever, man.
Like you see, he has his helmet on. You see
And-
like the cigarette sticking out of his helmet.
and he's just it's like it doesn't fit right, but he's just still like an amazing ass kicker. It's awesome.
John Favreau's in it.
Yeah.
Back when before he was directing,
Yeah.
he Orlando Jones is in it.
That's
If you guys
also
remember
true.
Orlando Jones, 7 Up Yours. You guys don't remember those commercials? I'm old.
Make 7 up yours. I remember that commercial. We're
yeah,
both
'cause
old.
we're old.
Good pick,
It is
dude.
on
But-
HBO Max.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice. I definitely recommend that.
I
one.
recommend watching that
that's
too.
that's a good one.
Yep. Nice, dude.
Shane Falco. I was like, dude,
What a
Falco. Back
name.
then, I was like, I only knew Falco from freaking Star Fox.
Star Fox, and you're like, what a cool
Like-
name. Yeah. And then and he was still like a good quarterback. It's just like the players were on strike, and then as a result, they needed to bring in replacements. It's a really cool like concept for a movie. Like we mentioned a lot of fun football movies. We did except one serious movie, which is obviously Remember the Titans. I have a very quickly. I'll mention another one that's like kind of like that inspirational one. I believe it's also on Disney Plus. Invincible.
That's with Mark Wahlberg.
Mark
I thought, you
Wahlberg.
were gonna say Rudy.
Well, that was
Rudy.
going down nuts. Yeah, Rudy is like that's like the classic. Like that's the gold standard. Some people would say it's like the best football movie. I still think it's Remember the Titans, but Rudy is like
You want to
top
cry?
3 easy. Yeah,
Wanna
if you
cry?
want to
watch Rudy.
like if you don't want to be like if you don't watch Rudy and feel like inspired, you get like a happy tear in your eye, or even just like feel really good, like man, like you can kind of take on anything. And you don't feel that when you watch Rudy, you have no soul. Like that's just that's the rule. I don't make the rules. That's just how it is.
Have you seen Rudy, Zach?
No.
Okay, so
No.
I'm gonna tell you something that'll make you watch it. Sean
John-
Astin is Rudy.
Sean Astin
John
is the main
Favreau
character.
is also in it.
What?
John Favreau is also in it.
In Rudy?
Yeah.
Oh,
What?
wow. Well, I mean, I haven't seen it in a long time. So
Damn, I do not remember
surprised.
that. Yeah, it was like yeah.
Sean
it's-
Astin,
it's
main
a cla-
character.
It is a classic. That's one of Sean Astin's best roles.
Is that
Obviously,
before or after?
That was way before.
Way
Yeah,
before.
yeah, he's a-
Okay.
after. No, he meant to say, was it after the Goonies? And the answer is yes.
He was gonna say,
We
gonna
all
say
knew
Lord of
what
the
he was
Rings.
gonna
He was
say.
gonna say Lord of the Rings.
No, he's gonna say. Damn it.
Before or after season 2 of Stranger Things to make you
God,
watch
newbie superhero.
to make you watch Stranger Things, Zach.
Yeah, man. Sean Astin's in that too.
He was great
He's
in that
also
one.
in. I mean, he's seen 50 First Dates, so he knows Sean Astin. So there's that.
He's the brother.
He's the brother
Yeah.
with the lisp.
With the
and
lisp.
like, yeah, it's in my proteins.
Family Reethies?
Yeah, exactly. Nice. So yeah, like you have Invincible. You know, at the real based off the true story of Vince Papali,
Mhm.
guy just a walk on that ends up being a key player for the Philadelphia Eagles. You know, because the hometown hero story. I recommend it. It's really cool. Elizabeth Banks is in there. I forget who plays his dad, but highly recommend it. You got to watch it.
Unfortunately, that one's not streaming anywhere.
No,
Invincible?
Invincible.
It's a Disney movie. It's not on
It
Disney
used-
Plus.
No, Rudy.
Rudy isn't
Oh,
streaming anywhere.
okay.
Invincible is on Disney Plus. I checked this. If we're talking about nothing, I think others that are really serious, things like We Are Marshall with Matthew McConaughey.
Mhm. Oh yeah, it's serious.
Yeah, like it's a team that basically, like
Matthew Fox from Lost.
Yep. That movie's about a team that basically they have to bring in others to play for the team because the main roster of the team apparently unfortunately died in a plane
Plane
crash.
accident. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. So, but that's a really good movie. Anthony, I just brought this up to mind earlier. Jerry Maguire technically counts as a football movie.
Mhm.
Another big one that was really cool, even though that I don't like that I guess because of licensing, but Any Given Sunday,
Al Pacino.
Al Pacino and the Miami Sharks, and was it Dennis
Quaid.
Quaid and Jamie Foxx?
Mhm. Cameron Diaz.
Cameron Diaz is like the owner's daughter. Yeah, it gives you like both sides of everything. It gives you the players aspect and also like the owners and coaches too. There's also Friday Night Lights that end up spawning a very successful show, and Varsity Blues. That one was it's cheesy like football teen drama, but a lot of these movies are set in Texas.
Well, speaking of, because you said Friday Night Lights, I was just thinking now, isn't Blue Mountain State also another kind of, or is it just like college related, not
That's
so much
just
football?
college, I think.
Because
Well,
I can picture.
show?
I think it was a show and a movie,
Ballers. Well, that's a TV
but
show.
I think that's something.
yeah, it's a show. Blue Mountain State is a show.
Oh, it's a show. Okay,
It's
not
only a
movie.
show.
Okay,
Yeah.
never mind then.
I
Okay,
remember
then
seeing
Friday Night
ads
Lights had
on
a
like
movie
Spike
and a
TV,
show.
which now is
Okay.
Paramount, but whatever.
I think I'm confusing it with Friday Night Lights then.
Yep. Yeah, you are. 'Cause it's like
Alright.
supposed to be like a goofier version of it. But and then lastly, I know Danny had mentioned it before, but he was like, "Damn, I don't recall this one." The movie that showed off, amazing talent from Sandra Bullock, The Blind Side.
That's true.
yeah,
yeah.
she got an award for that.
Yeah, she did. You got an award for that. No, she got a full-on Oscar.
A
Yeah.
lot of these football movies are true stories.
Yes, they
Mhm.
are. Nothing feels based on a true story. You'll usually read.
Mm-hmm.
They're always inspirational. Like it's whenever you need like a good pick me up or just some good feel good movie, whether if it's for fun or to again be inspired, you can't go wrong with a sport movie. And American football movies really do hit the ticket, man. Like it's just something about them. They're written well enough. Like even Gridiron Gang, like with The Rock and Exhibit, is a pretty solid movie to kind of like again get you inspired. Overcome life's obstacles, playing a game you love. And if you don't know anything about football, at least you'll be entertained by the good acting and, like I said, the human stories. Final thoughts, gentlemen?
Could you say that 22 Jump Street is a football movie?
No.
No.
I saw that in list of football movies, and I
That
was like,
does not
I
That's
don't
count.
like
think so.
saying Wedding Crashers is a football movie because they play
They play
football in like
football
two
that
scenes.
Yeah.
All right,
Or
so
that's like saying I Love
Gun.
You Man is a golf movie.
Top
Top Gun is not a
Maverick.
golf movie.
Top
I'm
Gun
sorry,
Maverick
Top
is
Gun
a-
Maverick is not a football
It
movie.
is. It's
No, it's not.
They're
Offense
playing
and
fo-
defense.
They don't
football
even
movie.
play real American football.
And it's also
They
a volleyball
created
movie.
their
is the
own
first one?
football.
Exactly, and it's wrong.
Well,
But you
they-
could say
they-
the first movie was a volleyball movie.
They ain't worried about it right now.
Okay, we're ending that. Freaking. Anyway,
Will you ever quit? No.
no,
We want some more. We
no,
want
want
some more.
more. Oh man,
Okay, remember the Titans.
yeah, that's Remember the Titans. We
Too
want
good.
some more. What was the other one?
But then the first Twilight movie would also be a baseball movie.
Oh my
Shut
god.
up.
I'm kidding.
Oh
I'm kidding.
my
Xavier,
God.
end the
We're
episode.
done. You know what? I was gonna do one
Isn't
of
them
the.
hitting the baseball? Doesn't
Yeah.
that create the lightning? Isn't
Yeah.
that? Oh my god.
What is fatigue? Army clothes. Like, no, I can't even do like other cool lines from Remember the Titans. You know, we will be perfect in every sense of the word. Unlike the end of this
We just
podcast
gotta
where
do
Zach made the worst
a
references of all
slow
time.
fade out? I'm gonna.